Hi, this is Dawn Petalino, your transformational coach and best-selling author of Peace, Power, and Miracles. And welcome to Miracle Monday. And Miracle Monday is where I offer you some tips and some tools, but most importantly, some truths to access more peace and love and miracles in your life. And today's is, how do I know I'm making the right decision? Should I stay in the relationship? Shouldn't I stay in the relationship? Should I take that job? Shouldn't I take that job? Should I let my kids do this? Should I do this or not? We wrestle with decisions all the time. And the hardest part is we end up going around and around and around on this merry-go-round, driving ourselves crazy. Now, I will say this, first things first, a lot of times when you're making a decision, you need to gather information because, you want to make that discernment. So sometimes we just need more information to feel good about our decision, to feel like I got all the information and now I can make a good decision. So once you gather the information, though, if you're still going round and round, that's probably a conflict between your head and your heart. Your head lives from a place of oughts, a place of shoulds, expectations, living up to others' expectations, or an expectation of yourself in the moment. And that can be very different from what the heart is telling you. I had a friend who she was in conflict with wanting to give things to her kids or do things for her kids, but then feeling like they didn't appreciate it, and then she'd feel resentful and angry. But she also felt kind of victimized, like, I don't really have a choice. But then when we looked at it, we realized she had the expectation, well, if I do this for you, you're going to do this for me. But her heart in those moments felt like I didn't really want to do it, or it didn't feel good to me, but I thought, well, if I did it for them, they'll do it for me. And when it didn't happen, she got upset. She got resentful. She was trying to live up to the expectation of herself, and she had an expectation of somebody else that was not communicated. Or sometimes, I myself have been in relationships that I stayed in because they looked good on paper, but it wasn't necessarily where my heart wanted to be. But I thought, yeah, but you know what? He's such a nice guy, and I would make excuses. So what you want to do is, after you gather the information, is you want to take away all the judgment out of the situation. You want to take away good, bad, or indifferent. I'm not going to blame them and make them wrong, and I'm not going to blame myself and make myself wrong. No one's right or wrong here. Just how do I feel about it? And that's when you go to step 2. How am I feeling about the situation? And the Course of Love tells us being aware of your feelings in the present moment is the only way to certainty. So we say, I just don't feel comfortable with this, or I really want to do that. And then we take the risk. We act on what the feeling is. And the proof in the pudding is that we often feel relief and we feel better afterwards because we followed what our real feelings were. Now, our mind might argue, and maybe we can't make the decision at that moment. Maybe we have to plan for it, but still, we're listening to what feels good in our heart, and that always brings certainty. So in that moment, that's what you do. You take away the judgment. You listen and accept your feelings, however they are. And you accept yourself in that moment and say, what are my values here? And what feels good to me here? And then without judgment, it's easy to make that decision out of love, because now you're doing it out of self-love. And when you make the decision there and you take the risk, the proof is in the pudding. Course in Miracles says, peace and understanding go hand in hand. Do not think you understand anything until you pass the perfect test of peace. And when you feel that peace, you feel that relief, then no matter what happens from here, I know I made the right decision because I am at peace. I had to do this with a client who was being very sporadic, and I followed them around, tried to do this and that with them, and it really, my mind was telling me, well, you have to have the client, you need the money. And when I got to the point of, no, this just doesn't feel good to me, and I told them, unless we do X, Y, or Z, I can't do this. They ended up leaving, but I felt such peace, and my whole peace of mind and my emotions just buoyed up, that I knew that was the right decision for me. See, there is no right decision. There's the right decision for you. So that is your Miracle Monday tip and tool, is to practice that self-acceptance of your emotions and be willing to act from there. If you found this helpful, I encourage you to like and share this video. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. You can also check out my blogs at www.dawnpetalino.com, and I have one on the 5 steps to knowing the right decision. I'll put the link below, and I hope you have a miraculous Monday. Bye for now.